The pyramids of Egypt pierce the desert sky, majestic and ancient. Silent witnesses to millennia of human history, they stand as testaments to incredible ambition and engineering. We gaze upon them with awe, wondering about their creation. How did ancient hands achieve such monumental feats? The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, is a mountain of stone. Over 2 million blocks, each weighing tons. Imagine the Nile River Valley, a civilization bursting with energy, building for eternity. These were not just tombs. They were statements precisely aligned with celestial bodies. What deep knowledge guided their design? For centuries, scholars and dreamers have pondered how these wonders were built. Theories range from pure human toil to otherworldly intervention. How were such massive stones lifted so high with incredible precision? The sheer scale challenges our modern assumptions. This isn't merely an archaeological debate, it's a journey into the human spirit, a story of immense aspiration and perhaps forgotten knowledge. We are about to explore a fascinating theory. Could the answer to their construction be hidden within the very stones themselves, and remarkably hinted at in ancient scriptures? Let us embark on this quest for understanding. The story often told is one of immense labor. Thousands of workers toiling under the sun. They quarried enormous limestone blocks, dragged across the desert sands, and hauled up colossal ramps. This image of brute force speaks of human determination. But does this narrative fully explain the pyramid's secrets? The Great Pyramid contains millions of blocks, each weighing tons. Imagine shaping them with simple copper tools. The precision is almost unbelievable, with block faces incredibly flat and fitting together with astonishing accuracy. Could massive ramps and brute strength alone achieve this level of finesse? The problem of the ramps is particularly thorny. What kind of ramp was used? A single long ramp would be enormous. Other ramp theories exist, but conclusive archaeological evidence remains elusive. The time factor also presents a challenge. Herodotus wrote of 100,000 men working for 20 years. Can these numbers be reconciled with the meticulous work required? The internal passages are perfectly aligned, suggesting careful planning and advanced techniques. These doubts have opened the door for new ideas and alternative explanations. Perhaps it's time to think differently. What if there was another way? A smarter way involving advanced chemistry. This is the core of a revolutionary theory proposed by Professor Joseph Davidovits. He suggested the pyramid stones were not just carved rock, but a type of ancient concrete called geopolymer. This idea challenges traditional pyramid construction theories. It suggests the Egyptians were master chemists. Davidovits proposed they used soft limestone, disaggregated it, and mixed it with water and other ingredients. These included kaolin, clay, natron, and lime. This created a wet, slurry-like mixture, a kind of ancient, sophisticated mud. This geopolymer slurry could be transported and poured into molds at the construction site. The mixture would harden in place, becoming a solid, durable block. This process would explain the incredibly tight fit between blocks and the variation in block shapes. Davidovits' idea was initially met with skepticism, but backed by chemical analysis and research. He argued the evidence was in the stones themselves, waiting to be correctly interpreted. Professor Davidovits didn't just propose a theory. He sought scientific proof. He analyzed samples from pyramid stones and found intriguing anomalies. The composition of some stones seemed different from natural limestone. Some pyramid casing stones had a higher water content, characteristic of concrete-like materials. He also reported finding microscopic spheres and amorphous silica-based structures. These suggested a chemical reaction had occurred, a synthesis, not just natural sedimentation. Organic fibers, even a human hair, were allegedly found embedded. If the stone was once a wet slurry, it makes sense. Air bubbles too were present, similar to those found in modern concrete. Years later, other scientists took up the challenge. Professor Michel Barsoum and his team conducted independent research. They used advanced analytical tools and examined samples from several pyramids. Their findings were published in peer-reviewed journals, adding weight to the casting theory. Barsoum's team found that some pyramid stones were indeed different, identified as reconstituted limestone. This strongly suggested a geopolymer-like process. The Egyptians, it seemed, were not just shaping stone, they were making it. Now, let us shift our gaze to the pages of an ancient sacred text, the Qur'an, revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in the 7th century CE, long after the pyramids. Could such a text hold a clue about ancient Egyptian technology? The Qur'an contains narratives of past peoples, including the account of Moses and Pharaoh. Pharaoh desires to ascend to the heavens and issues a command to his chief minister, Haman. In Surah Al-Qasas, Pharaoh declares, "Kindle for me a fire upon the clay, then make me a lofty tower." A similar command is found in Surah Ghafir. The crucial phrase here is, "Kindle for me a fire upon the clay." Some translations render it as "Bake for me, O Haman clay." This describes a process, a transformation of clay using fire. Could this be an ancient reference to creating strong building materials? Materials like geopolymer blocks, hardened through a chemical process. Let's delve deeper into these Quranic words. At-Tin in Arabic translates to clay, mud, or earth. It can refer to clay minerals like kaolin, a key ingredient in Davidovit's Geopolymer recipe. The phrase "kindle for me a fire upon the clay" suggests a process of transformation. It implies that the raw material, clay, is altered by fire or heat. The structure Pharaoh desires is a sarhan, a high edifice. The pyramids are certainly lofty edifices dominating the landscape. While the Qur'an does not explicitly state this, sarhan is a pyramid, the parallels are compelling. The mention of baking clay for a pharaonic megastructure is unique. It resonates remarkably well with the geopolymer theory. This correspondence is significant and intriguing parallel. It invites us to consider that ancient scriptures might contain echoes of forgotten knowledge. What do we make of all this? We have the enduring mystery of the pyramids. Scientific theories suggest cast geopolymer blocks supported by microscopic evidence. And we have ancient verses from the Qur'an speaking of Pharaoh, Haman, and baking clay. It's a remarkable convergence, a fascinating intersection of archaeology, material science, and scriptural study. This journey reveals something profound. For people of faith, such connections can be deeply affirming. They may see it as a sign, evidence of the divine knowledge embedded in sacred texts. For science, this opens up new avenues of thought. It encourages a multidisciplinary approach to ancient mysteries. The ancient Egyptians were undoubtedly brilliant. Could their mastery of material science have been far more advanced than imagined? The evidence suggests we should keep an open mind. Ultimately, this exploration highlights a beautiful possibility. Ancient wisdom and modern science are not always in opposition. Sometimes they can illuminate each other, leading to a richer understanding of our shared human story. The universe is full of wonders, some hidden in the stones beneath our feet or in the verses of ancient texts. The quest to understand is what makes us human, a journey without end.